Well, how are you all doing today? Hope y'all having a good holiday weekend. To tell you the truth, I didn't know it was a holiday until yesterday morning. Right, so not many holidays I celebrate, including my birthday, but I am very fond of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I'm going to make a meatloaf today. I got a pound of 80/20 in here and an egg, and I got it dusted down with black pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Now, there's two ways to make meatloaf. To tell you the truth, the other is my most favorite way to make it. And really, it's made with oatmeal and it leans more towards, well, you can use the same recipe for meatballs, put it that way. But there's another way people like it, and they like it with brown gravy. And so I'm going to add these frozen peppers and onions in there. I have let them thaw and drain the juice out of them. They are still very juicy, and that's going to help to keep your meatloaf juicy. And I'm going to add breadcrumbs because this particular recipe calls for breadcrumbs. And they're Italian style breadcrumbs because I like that because they have seasoning already in it. I'm going to add a bunch of that. I'm also going to add, now with my other meatloaf, I add tomato sauce. But being that this is a different kind of meatloaf, I'm going to add some savory beef gravy. So I've added my beef gravy. Now, rather than mixing tomato paste and ketchup together and topping this particular meatloaf off, I'm going to top it off with brown gravy because this meatloaf is made with a brown gravy. So you go ahead and add some of that right into the mix and mix it up because it's going to give it a savory flavor. Okay, so I've added more breadcrumbs to this because I find that the meat is still kind of, even after mixed, it's still kind of wet. Right? But I need everything in there that I have in there. And so what you do is you just add some more breadcrumbs until it starts to get to a thicker consistency because that thicker consistency is what you want. It helps to shape it and it helps to keep it together while it's cooking. So you just keep mixing in those breadcrumbs until you get to a thicker consistency, one that you can shape, okay? All right, so I have mixed enough, pardon me, breadcrumbs in there uh, to give it a good consistency to where it's going to hold together enough for me to shape it. And I've added some olive oil because, I'm using 80/20. And there's a lot of water in 80/20 that's going to cook off. But you are going to have some of the natural oil from the beef grease, right? But it won't be enough. So I've added some olive oil. All right, so I added enough breadcrumbs to get my meatloaf mixture to a good consistency where I could form it into a loaf. It is called meatloaf for a reason because it is formed into a loaf. Later on, the late 60s, early 70s, probably up into the mid 70s, meatloaf was often shaped in a round loaf, right? Resembling something like sourdough bread. Pardon me. And I have shaped this and put a little bit more olive oil in it. I'm going to pop it into my oven. Now, I do not believe in preheating your oven. That is a very old-fashioned notion. My grandmother had a cast iron oven, okay? 100% cast iron. The top she cooked in and everything she baked in. And it was loaded with coal and wood. And in the summer, they had what they called summer kitchens, where it takes 6 men to move that cast iron stove, oven, outside to keep the heat out of the house. And they cooked and they did their laundry outside during the hot months because there was no such thing as air conditioning. Okay. Now, if you go ahead and put your product, whatever you're cooking, in your oven and then turn it on, it will eventually heat up to the temperature it needs to be and will cook whatever you put in there without preheating your oven. You just need to keep an eye on it. That's all. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the oven, and just before it's done, I'm going to add me some green beans. I got a can of green beans going here, and I'm going to top this off with beef gravy. And I've decided to make some au gratin potatoes with it. Now, I have made au gratin and scalloped potatoes from scratch. I like to doctor stuff up. I don't usually buy something like this. I will be adding more cheese to it. Do not follow the directions on this. Add some more fluid to it. You ever make a box of this and the potatoes are undercooked, they're chewy, you don't know why? The reason is they're dehydrated and they need more fluid. So mix up some more milk and water, or just add water to it before you put it in the oven. And all that mixture, all that milk, all that fluid won't cook out before your potatoes are done. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add more cheese to it. So like I said, just before this is done, I'm going to top it off with some more beef gravy and add some green beans to it. I got a can over there hide. Anyway, y'all, thanks for stopping in. I hope you're having a great holiday weekend. Thank you so much for your thumbs up, for your comments, large or small. I appreciate them all. It's going to be good. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye-bye.